Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Look It Up Podcast. You can find us on YouTube under the Look It Up Podcast, and his name, Tony Gudo. Once again, I'm Chip Ulmer, and this is Tony Gudo. So, Papa, it's a big week.
Big week, Super Bowl week.
Super Bowl 60 week. We in the sixth decade of the
And
Super
who
Bowl.
would have thought? Who would have thought at the beginning of the season
No, nobody thought.
that Seattle and New England would be in the Super Bowl?
Nobody.
Well, Seattle, I think some people thought they had a decent team. They just didn't know about what Donald would do.
Yeah.
But he had a hell of a good year the year before in Minnesota. So, we'll see what happens. New England is really a surprise. They won. They lost. They won 3 games, I think, last year. And then this year they won 13 or whatever it is, 12, 11.
14.
14, okay, whatever. So, anyway, what we're going to do today, before we get too far in here, is we're going to look at position groups and kind of give everybody an idea, because most people don't look at all this. Most people just going into the Super Bowl week thinking, okay, this team's probably going to win, or this team's probably going to win, or they're favoring the coach, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at the position groups, and we're going to talk about what we think, who's got the stronger position groups on both sides of the ball. Let's start off with the quarterback. What do you think with the quarterback?
I think I'm going to give this to New England. I'm going to give New England the quarterback edge because, listen, Drake May is an MVP finalist this year. He threw, I think I went over this last week about the MVP race, but 4,394 yards, 4th in the NFL, 31 touchdowns, 3rd in the NFL, only 8 interceptions, tied for 17th, and QBR rating is 77.1, highest in the NFL this season.
Well,
Now, Darnold, he threw only 4,048 yards,
yeah, they run the ball more.
only 25 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and his QBR was 55.7, which is 19th in the league. So I think I'm going to give this to the Patriots on the quarterback.
I'm giving it to Donald. I think Seattle's position group and the quarterbacks are stronger. When you look across the board, first of all, Donald has much more experience than May. May's only his second year this year, and he had a good couple of years, and he had a good year this year. But you got to look at what happened in the playoffs too, and we'll go over that in a minute. But the reason I like the quarterback room is because they got stronger quarterbacks to back him up. If the quarterbacks get hurt, you never know what will happen. The Seattle Seahawks have Sam Darnold, and they have Drew Lock behind him. And Drew Lock is a pretty good quarterback. He's not bad at all. New England, they only have Dobbs. And Dobbs is decent, but he's not a big-time quarterback. And DeVito, he's just on the third. He's just on the field. So I guess they got him in case somebody.
He's just happy
gets
to be there.
I'm not sure who the third quarterback is with the quarterbacks with Seattle, but it doesn't really matter. I think Drew Lock or Donald will be fine. Because personally, I think I'm going to go with Seattle to the advantage of the quarterback.
All right.
The running backs, same here. I'm going to start. I'll go with Kenneth Walker.
I'm going to go Seattle as well.
Kenneth Walker is a lot better running back than what they have on the New England side. Kenneth Walker had no fumbles this year at all.
Walker has 221 carries
Yeah, they run the ball a lot better.
with 1,027 yards and 5 touchdowns.
And
With his average is 4.6 yards a carry.
New England had a decent year running, but their main guy, Henderson, is hurt. He's out. And he was their main guy. He was a rookie, but he was their main guy.
It's Ramondre Stevenson.
Stevenson's the one playing. Guess what? He's had 3 fumbles just recently in the last in the playoff games, I think. So I'm gonna give it to Seattle in the running back section.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receivers. Let's look at the wide receivers. Seattle, they have JSN.
Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we're back.
We're back to receivers. We're looking at the comparison, and the receivers, JSN is number 4 in the league and
Yep.
catching the football. So he's pretty
Yeah.
good. And the best receiver, I think, on New England right now is Diggs, and he's number 12 in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, Seattle's receivers, they have Shaheed, they have Young, and they have Cooper Kupp. New England Patriots have Booty and
Former LSU.
and Williams.
And-
Kalen Williams, I think it is. So I favor the
And
receivers. I favor the receivers.
Demario Douglas, and yeah.
I think Seattle has the better receivers also.
Mm-hmm.
Regarding tight ends, Seattle has Bobo
I'm
and,
gonna-
and Arroyo.
I'm gonna give this to
I think New England has
England.
better receivers, tight ends.
because
They have-
Hunter Henry is on a tear right
And
now.
Henry, and they have DP and Hooper. Hooper's not bad either. He's a pretty good
Yeah.
tight end receiver. So, all right, now we're gonna. So far we got the quarterbacks. We split on the quarterbacks. I think Seattle. He says New England. Running back. We both believe the running backs favor Seattle, and the wide receivers favor Seattle, and the tight ends favor the New England Patriots.
Mhm.
Offensive line. I looked at the offensive line. I've been looking into it this week.
That's a close one.
It's pretty good. Our offensive line, Seattle's got the best offensive line across the board.
Yeah.
New England's got a decent offensive line. The problem with New England is they have two rookies on the left side. They got Will Campbell
LSU.
from LSU, and they got Wilson. He's a rookie. So they got two rookies on that left side. And the last few weeks, if you look at the playoffs, they both had a tough time. They both, especially against Denver, they had a real tough time blocking them. And we're going to talk about the defensive line in a second. It's going to be hard, I think, for them guys to block the Seattle defensive line.
Yeah.
So right now, I give the Seattle Seahawks as a favorite on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Defensive line. Let's talk about that.
Seattle. Across the board.
Seattle's across the board.
They're-
The reason I say that is, if you look at the Seattle defense, the defensive line has put more pressure on the quarterback, and they don't blitz. They don't have to blitz. They put enough pressure with the front four that they don't have to blitz at all. They still blitz every now and then, but they don't have to. So what they do is they drop the linebackers in coverage. And what happens? How many people you got in coverage then? You got four in the defensive backfield, or you got what?
4 in the secondary.
Yeah, like four linebackers. Right? No, it's 4, 3, 3. Anyway, you got
Depends
7.
on the defense they run.
You got 7 on defense, or 10,
11.
11. No, I mean, how many you got off the line? You got 4, and then you got
8.
8. So you got 8 people in coverage because you don't have to blitz. On the other side of the ball, their defensive line is not that great. New England, they got some decent players, 1 or 2 decent players, but they blitz. They have to blitz because unless they blitz, they don't get a whole lot of pressure. So what happens there? That opens up the defensive backfield where you can get your receivers open, and that helps Seattle. So I think the defensive line is much better than the New England Patriots defensive line. So I'll lean toward them, and he also leans toward them. Linebackers, I looked at linebackers. I think it's kind of a push on the linebackers. They both have good linebackers, and they've got physical linebackers. The difference is the New England cannot keep the ball out. They have to blitz with them a lot. So they end up having to send more people in, and Seattle doesn't. But I think that's a push on that. Defensive backfield, I still think it's Seattle because they have more people in coverage. They're going to have people. They got the quarterbacks, they got the safeties, and they have a lot of. They don't allow no big plays. Seattle does not allow big plays, and that's the advantage. I think whoever does the team that gets the most big plays in this game is probably going to win. I don't see this game. I don't see these teams having long drives. I don't see no 10, 15 play drives with these teams. The defenses on both sides of the ball is a little too good for that, especially on the Seattle side. I don't see. I mean, I expect it to be everybody's saying a low scoring game. I'm not sure if it's going to be low scored. The over and under is 45.5. I don't know. I think it possibly go over 45.5. Because I mean, what if Seattle scores 27 and New England scores 17? Then you're over. Even 27-14, right? 27-14, is that over? 27-14. Well, 27-14 is 44. It's just under. So, it's hard to tell on that over and under. I'm going to go with over on it because I think that's what's going to end up happening in this game. Special teams, I give it to Seattle because of Shaheed, right? I mean, I don't even know who the returner is. Who's the returner for New England?
The safety.
Safeties? Yeah, they don't return a lot of
Marcus
balls.
something, I think.
But Shaheed has got he's already returned with 4 or 5 this year, and I think he's going to return one in this game. I think Shaheed does that in this game. So overall, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups.
Boy, I'm looking it up.
7 groups. Look it up. We have 7 groups leaning towards Seattle in this game, rather than New England.
Marcus Jones is
Marcus Jones.
returning
Marcus
for
Jones.
New England.
So anyway, that's the games. You look at the playoffs. I look at it this way: San Francisco, Seattle blew San Francisco out. Now I do know San Francisco had some injuries, and that was some of the issues. But 41-6, that's still ridiculous. And then when they played the Rams, 31-27. So that's why I'm thinking
That was that's above 45.
And I think the Rams defense is better than the New England defense, right? So if the Rams defense is better than the New England defense, then Seattle should score 28 to 30 points.
They could score 45 on their own.
Yeah. And if you look at the playoffs, it was much tougher for New England.
Agreed.
I'm not going to say much tougher. I think it was easier. Because they had teams, they had like Denver with no quarterback. And they should have lost that game. If Sean Payton don't mess up on a few calls, I think Denver wins that game. And then Seattle would definitely win the game because
Chargers offensive
They have a
line wasn't
quarterback.
playing great.
Chargers not.
CJ Stroud wasn't playing.
CJ Stroud. I mean, I think it was. I think they had an easier way to get to the playoffs on that
Super
side of the
Bowl.
ball rather than
Super
Seattle.
Bowl.
Yeah, to get to the Super Bowl. So anyway, point wise, let's look at the game. And both teams are averaging 28 points a game. Seattle's a little bit more, like a half a
28.
point more. Passing game, Seattle has the 8th best passing game. New England has the 4th best. So New England's a little bit better on that, but that's mainly because of the playoffs against those teams. Because if you look at the numbers through the season, they were much closer than that. And rushing yards, Seattle's 10th and New England's 6th. However, they lost Henderson. He was their main bell cow this year, so he's not going to be in the game. On defense, Seattle's number 5 in the NFL, and New England's number 8. But like I said, they're getting a little bit better rating because of the teams they played in the last part of the year. Points allowed, Seattle allows 17, and New England allows 19. Third down conversion, this is big. Third down stops, third down conversions. Seattle's number 1. Number 1. And New England, what? 12. New England's 12. So to me, everything points toward a Seattle victory in this game. And I would have taken the NFC either way. Even if the Rams would have went, I think the Rams would have still won. And if Denver would have went, the NFC definitely would have won because they didn't have Bo Nix. So New England got there because Bo Nix was not playing, more than likely. So that's what I think about the football game at this point. Any other things you want to talk about the game?
Not really. I'm just excited for the game.
I'm gonna give you some picks. Let's talk a little bit about picks for the game. Now remember, if you make any bets, any wagers on this game, what do?
Only bet what you can afford to lose.
Only bet what you can afford to lose. So, if you watch the pre-game shows, they all show you all these different DraftKings and all these different websites. And when they give you picks, they show you what you win if you bet 5, what you win if you bet 10, that kind of thing. Of course, the more money you bet, the better chance you have of making more money. But you don't want to bet something you can't afford to bet. In this game, I would take Seattle as a favorite. I think Seattle will win. I think they'll cover that 4.5 points with no problem.
Yeah.
As I mentioned with the over and under, I like the over. A lot of people think the under, but I like the over because I just think Seattle can score. And Seattle probably going to score 30 points in this game. And Shaheed can run one. That would be an extra touchdown. And the defense can score. That could go both ways, right? New England could do the same thing. But I think Seattle has a better chance of that happening. When you look at MVPs for this year, I'm taking JSN as the
Super
MVP.
Bowl MVP?
Super Bowl MVP.
Some people are saying Cooper Kupp.
Cooper, maybe. Well, if you look at the odds, I looked at two players.
And you know it mostly
take
goes to
Jackson,
the quarterback,
yeah.
though. But you know it mostly goes to the quarterback.
Well, it depends. It depends on what happens. But I think if it goes to him, it's plus 550, which means if you bet $20 that he wins, you win $130. If you bet $10, you win $65. So it's not no big wager. I'm probably going to wager a little more than that when I do it. You look at Kenneth Walker. What if Kenneth Walker is the MVP? And that could happen. The running backs do get it quite a bit of times, especially if he scores several times. Well, in his case, it's plus 800. So a $20 bet with Kenneth Walker wins you $180. And those odds could change back and forth, and depending on what site you're using. If you bet $10, you win $90 if Kenneth Walker does it. What I like, the two bets I mainly like is winning margin. I think Seattle's going to win by more than 4.5 points. Okay, if you look at Seattle and I say they're going to win by 7 to 12 points. Now they have to win by either 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12. They can't win by more than 12, and they can't win by less than 7. If they do that, a $20 bet wins $100. A $10 bet wins $50. I'm going to make that bet. I'm not sure what amount I'm going to bet, but I'm going to make that bet. Also, I'm going to make a bet on Seattle's going to win between 13 and 18 points. It could happen. Let's say they score 40 to 20. 40 to 20. It's over, and that's what? You know, so
What was the last time
13
Seattle
to 18,
won the Super Bowl?
$20 wins $130.
Last time Seattle won the Super Bowl, it was 40 to 8
Yep.
against Denver.
Against Denver. Yep. And I just think Seattle, personally, I think the NFC was a lot stronger this year than the AFC. So I believe no matter what happened, the NFC would have won the Super Bowl. Now, there's a lot of tricky things can happen with the spread. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, last year, what happened? Philly blew out
Kansas City.
And everybody was saying Kansas City was going to win that game. Not me. I said Philly. I didn't think Philly would dominate as much as they did on defense.
No.
I mean, the game was pretty much over at halftime.
It was 27-0.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty bad. And I just didn't see Kansas City doing a three-peat. They were not that good. They were lucky last year. They were lucky to get where they're at. And this year, they proved it. They're not there this year. So that's what happens. Anyway, player things. I did this 2 weeks ago in the playoffs. I took 4 receivers to make a touchdown. And 4 receivers made the touchdowns that I picked, and I won $350. Then I took 4 other players, 1 quarterback to score a touchdown. I took 1 player to catch, I think, 60-something yards in passing. I took Shaheed to get 30-plus yards. He got that on the first play of he touched the ball. And then I had another player, and I won another 200-something. All right, everybody, let's look at the player. I just mentioned with the thing I did 2 weeks ago. Right now, I'm looking at 4 receivers to score a touchdown, or 4 players. Stevenson, Shaheed, Naigba, and A.J. Barner. Those 4 guys, if you put $10 on and parlay those 4 together that they're going to score a touchdown, $10 win $860. $10 win $860. Now, I'm a little concerned about the Barner, but you can always change players. You don't have to use the ones I'm using. I may not even use Barner, but I think I'm going to use Stevenson, Shaheed, and Naigba for sure. So we'll see. But just think, if you do those little parlays like that, $10 can win you quite a bit of money. So those are the ones I'm going to do. To recap, I'm taking Seattle. I'm taking the over. I'm also taking Seattle to win by more, between 7 and 12 points. I think they're going to win by more than that. And I'm going to take these players. Also, I'm going to take, I hadn't looked at it yet, but I'm going to take New England's kicker to kick more than 2 field goals. Because I have a feeling they're going to get. Okay, and that's it today for our Super Bowl show. If you're looking for anything, you're trying to find out, you can't find it, what do? You look it up. Where you find us? You find us on YouTube under
the Look It Up podcast and Facebook under his name, Tony Gudo. Go Tigers! Who dat? Can't wait for the Super Bowl.
Go Seattle.
Go Seattle.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.